Awesome. We should be good. Should be live. Alrighty, guys, we're live. We have 4 more interviews of the day. I'm excited to get this finished, and then yeah, we should be good. It was a very productive day of interviews. This is kind of like the inside scoop of kind of like my usual day when it comes to interviewing people. Um, Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys got a lot of information out of it. That's kind of like the ultimate goal. Like you guys asking questions, me like just help me have a better understanding of the 100 experiment and what we're trying to build here. Let's see. We're gonna have. Oh, no. We're waiting on our next guest right now. Next interviewee, Elijah. So we'll see if he actually shows up. We do have
What's
a
the
like.
goal of the
You said
What's
what?
the goal at the end of 2026?
The goal of the end of 2026 for
Yeah,
myself or the experiment?
experiment.
Well, the goal is to have everyone recruited, but like I said, the biggest challenge is balancing the speed of execution because we want to make it as fast as possible, of course, and also like the quality of our members because that's very important. So um, we're gonna try to push for maybe 50 as much as we can by the end of the year. If I'm looking at like the time frame right now, and I'm not gonna lie, we've had a lot of good interviews this to just today, and we have interviews for the next 4 days, and so it's gonna the group number is gonna accelerate fast. So that's kind of the goal. But the 100 itself is gonna be active even before we hit the 100 mark. We're gonna be content like continuously recruiting in the background, even with like a number of 50 or whatever. But we're gonna be doing actionable stuff for the experiment on publicly and on our social media. So I think that's crucial to keep the experiment live even as we build. We're gonna give this guy 1 more minute.
What is your advice to those who don't make it?
I mean, at the end of the day, just keep building. Whether or not you guys are a part of the 100 community like experiment or not, I think the ultimate thing is just keep building. Uh, all of you guys have a dream and a passion. Just don't give up on it and just go for the stars, guys. Come on. And I think that's like I think this experience is also a good example of that anyone can do anything they put their mind to. Because when we started this, we were just a group of random broke entrepreneurs, college graduates that are starting businesses, and then we started building this type of community. That means anyone out there could do whatever they put their mind to. Just don't give up. Just keep building, guys. And like I said, I do have a lot of collaborative ideas for the rest of the experiment and to incorporate you guys in it too, like in-person meetups, conferences, expos for innovation within the entrepreneurial world. That will also bring everyone together because I want to make this like a living and breathing movement, not just for the 100 group, but for everyone. One thing I do want to do as well is like publicly unleash the Discord once we have all 100 members. So this allows you guys to interact with members in the 100 and even collaborate with them if you guys, strike up a relationship or whatever. Make it very natural.
How do you plan on getting everyone paid since there will be high quality employees? I don't think he's understanding the project.
Well, this is the 100 experiment. We're not paying them. It's a community. It's a network of people building each other's businesses, right?
Right.
Like you wouldn't pay your friend to be your friend or be part of your network. Let's see. Okay, so our next interview is going to be at 3:24. But yeah, you guys spit me with some questions. We're gonna end this stream around like 4 something at our last interview of the day. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna send the invite to. the next coming days are gonna be the roughest. I'm gonna have like a lot of interviews. Tuesday and Wednesday is gonna be the most stacked. Uh, 18 and the 18th and the 19th is gonna be the lightest. So we'll see. I'll think about streaming something. We'll see. But it was fun though. I like streaming. I like interacting with you guys.
What's a non-negotiable quality you look for in each member?
Well, non-negotiable 100% is a passion and an ambition to achieve something greater than what they have right now. And then another one is that you have to be consistent. You have to have a proven concept that you started something at the very least, a startup. You're growing it and you're actively growing it, and then you have the drive to keep going. Because I think the hardest part is to keep going, right? And you know that kind of differentiates the people who eventually do make it and do succeed and get funding and then grow their business between the people who just give up along the way. So it's very difficult to see that in the interviews we have, but of course I get to screen them a little bit more outside of the stream with the rest of the team, but we can only do our best.
How are people able to balance their own projects, balance this project with their own projects and work?
Of course, yeah. So that's a big question a lot of our entrepreneurs have currently in our members. So I know everyone are entrepreneurs. They're busy. They're either dealing with school or building their businesses. I wanted to make kind of like the experiment as flexible as possible, like kind of like adds into their accountability system. And we have a certain minimum criteria of what they have to do a week, a month, and just like actively just to keep the lifeblood of the community going and to keep everything active. If they can't meet that requirement, then there's no point of them having a part of the experiment, right? The point of the experiment is seeing if we can collaborate and work together to beat Elon Musk, not if we can solo mission this. So I mean, if they want a solo mission, that's fine. That's just not the point of the experiment. Okay, let's see if she's 5 minutes early. Is Sam asking any questions in the chat?
He said, interview me right now. Give me an interview right now.
Yeah. Hey, Angela. Or Angelina.
Angelina.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Of course. No, you're good. How's your day?
Good so far.
Where are you based out of? Oh, are you in the US, international?
No, I'm based in Australia. So
Australia.
Right now it's like 9 a.m. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you, taking the time to join us today.
No, me too.
Yeah, we'll get right to it.
Sure.
So what are you building and what's your story?
I'm currently building a consulting agency that focuses specifically on bridging the generational gap. So Gen Z specifically, they're entering into the workforce and their leaders and not knowing how to manage Gen Z and their new ideas.
Gotcha. Do you have a team right now? Like, what progress have you made in the company?
No, this is something very new. I kind of pivoted. It's only been around for about 6 to 8 weeks. Like, it's still very fresh. But I essentially started out in the leadership space, and then I went to a business show in Sydney, and I pivoted from there when I started hearing about people, and I'm like, wait a minute, there's like actually this big gap between people not knowing how to handle Gen Z. And then I'm realizing there's not really anyone in that space. I think there was like one other person in all of Sydney who was like also focusing on this, but not even how I was planning on doing it.
Gotcha. What is your main consulting business?
Like in terms of
Like
like
what
advising?
sector? Yeah. What sector do you really focus your consulting on?
I think it would fall under leadership still.
Oh,
Yeah.
leadership skills?
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then are you like posting on social media, stuff like that? Or
I have like an Instagram, but I'm gonna go on to LinkedIn. I'm just preparing myself mentally and then like getting like the actual structure. I know like I should jump in, but I have a
Mhm.
lot of things that I need to tie up before the end of the year that I don't want to be carried into the new year, so that when I start this business, like my full focus and attention is on it, and it's not like, oh, I have this other thing to take care of, or that other thing, you know?
Gotcha. When you
Yeah.
eventually start your business, ideally, what is going to be like your structure? If you can describe to me, like what product would I get as a consumer from you?
Or like the service.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it would be like a program, like a full 1 day program where we like solve your problem instantly.
Yeah.
But essentially, I start with a survey from both the leadership team and the employees. And depending on your age group, you get a different survey. I get the data back and I run it against like the statistics that the big companies have already completed in other businesses to see what works and what hasn't
Mm-hmm.
and where the gap is. Then from there, I'll be like, okay, here's your customized plan. You go through the 6 different phases, and each one could be like a discussion, an activity, or an interaction. It just depends on how it would go. But essentially, we would focus on understanding the problem, hearing everybody out, using psychological safety to build that.
Mm-hmm.
Then from there, we'd go off into an implementation plan and start ideating on that. Then the customer can choose, I mean, the client, they can choose to keep me on as a retainer to actually implement that, or they can do
Mm-hmm.
that themselves. But yeah,
Okay, gotcha.
yeah.
What resources do you have to like achieving to execute your consulting business?
In terms of what, could you be a bit more specific?
Yeah, this going to be mainly like kind of like a one-on-one coaching type of experience? Oh,
Yeah,
okay, gotcha.
it'd be
And then
more
you're
like
probably
that.
just gonna do like Google Meet or something like that, where you like you meet your clients and then like go through the consulting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
Definitely a lot more hands-on.
What do you
Yeah.
think is your biggest differentiator for your business? Like, how do you differentiate yourself from like all the competition? Because I know it's very competitive.
It is competitive. I will say the first thing is nobody is actually focusing on how to handle Gen Z. So a lot of people have this issue where they're like, we don't know how to hire Gen Z. I actually have my first client as like to get evidence. She's like, I stopped hiring Gen Z because I don't know how to deal with them. And
Mm,
I was like, that's a problem that you can't really like just not, you know, handle. It's something you're gonna eventually have to deal with. So everyone I've talked to, especially when I went to that big business show, is yeah, we noticed the problem, but we haven't noticed anyone actually doing anything. And every time I said, oh, this is what I'm planning to do, they're like, wow, I've never heard anyone do that. So I'm like, okay, there might be competition in leadership, but there's no
yeah.
competition when it comes to like actually learning how to handle the generational gap.
Mm,
And it took me a few weeks to realize that I had like even one competitor, but I was excited because I'm like, okay, that's like external validation that this is something that actually can work and it's something that people are looking for. In terms of what else would differentiate me is I'm customizable, as in my program is specifically focused on you. It's not something I have built there and it's ready for you to take on. It's something I come in and be like, okay, I have like a baseline structure, but I customize it to your actual problem needs. That way you have a long-term fix and not like a short-term fix.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay. Where do you see yourself scaling this in 5 years, or do you want to do the same thing in 5 years?
definitely. 100%. Yeah, like this is something that I've started businesses before and they've all failed. And it was because I was in it for the wrong reasons. And this is the first time where like I'm genuinely in it to help other people, not myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like much more exciting and freeing and like I'm much more at peace now because I'm actually doing something for the community rather than myself.
What do you think was
And
your? Oh, sorry, I'll let you finish.
no, go, go.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think was your biggest accomplishment in your past businesses, and also like your biggest failure that you learned from?
The biggest failure was unfortunately chasing money. That's where the issue was,
Mm-hmm.
is and I would give up too easily because I was constantly running away in fear. Like I wasn't ready for the change it would bring. And I think I knew deep down that the businesses I was starting was not something I actually wanted to continue on in 5 years down the line.
Yeah.
And the biggest success is um, part of the fear was not telling anyone around me that I wanted to do this. Like, no one knew, not my parents, not my friends, like no one. I just told them recently, about 3 weeks ago, about one of the businesses that I'm trying to like tie up and clean off because it's become a bit of like a headache on me, if that makes sense.
Mm.
And like I thought it would be so much worse, but it was so freeing to know like I was just all in my head, and like that like unlocked something in me where I was like, wow, like I put so much time and energy into something that I only made a big deal. Like no one else was going to make it a big deal except for me.
Mm-hmm.
So there's now this new like realization, hang on, how much potential do I actually have, and how far can I go now? Because like I don't think I can hold myself back anymore. Like I'm realizing, wait a second, like I'm gonna switch up the and reframe myself to be like, rather than wow, I'm so scared of like what's gonna happen, I'm like, whoa, I'm so excited to see what's gonna happen. Like how far can I push myself?
That's awesome. Yeah, I think the coolest thing is that you have to figure out kind of, and sometimes that takes time. Figure out what you want to build, and like once someone like latches onto that, you can't stop them. And I think that's exciting. Uh, we're gonna
Exactly.
almost wrap it up here. I think the next interview is gonna be at 3:36. But I did want to ask you, why did you want to join the 100?
It's such a unique concept. Like I've
Yeah.
never heard of this. It's so cool. And it's like there's 100 or 99 other people who'd be in the same situation as me, where we can relate. I can provide my own like knowledge where they might need it, or
Mhm.
vice versa, where they can provide me with the guidance that I'd need. Like, and it's in the same context, which
Yeah.
is so exciting. Yeah,
Gotcha.
like so unique. I love it. Like it's exciting. Like I'm like, wow, how would it run? Like what kind of structure? Like, is this
Mhm.
gonna be something completely new and different? It sounds so exciting.
I
Yeah.
think the coolest part is that I'm not building this by myself. I'm building it with the members of the 100.
Ex-
We strategize, we brainstorm ideas for it, and we have a lot. And I'm gonna unveil them as we go here. Uh, but just to catch myself from talking too much, because I get very excited when I talk about the 100 experiment. Uh,
As you should.
yeah, of course. But this is about you. This is your interview. What can you contribute back to the 100? Yeah.
Okay. Um, for that one, you know how like obviously leadership, right?
Hmm.
So I'm really strong. My strong point, and like I will die on the hill, is my people skills, people management skills specifically. Like I've experienced it myself. I've witnessed it when people don't know how to manage people. There's a difference between being good at what you do and being able to translate that in a leadership role. You're going to have people from different time zones, from different cultures, with different accents and upbringings. And it's like, how do we make sure that the communication remains as open as possible without like the possibility of miscommunication causing problems? And that's a skill I think I can definitely provide for you. I know how to deal with people. I've been, I'm the eldest of four girls. So I've been like taking care of my siblings since I was like 10 years old. And that's allowed me to really grow as a person and understand emotions from a logical perspective. Like the other day, me and my sister like got into an argument, and when we sat down afterwards to talk about it, she came in and was like, I'm in the wrong.
Hmm.
And I waited for her to explain herself. And then I made her realize, hang on, I'm not going to say her name, but like, think about it from this. You're assuming that I know what you're thinking, but you're only showing me this part. So when she explained why we were in that argument and why she was coming from such like an angry and hostile point of view, I explained it to her that I didn't know any of this, and that's what caused the argument. And she realized, hang
Hmm.
on, she was actually in the wrong. And it's because
Gotcha.
I explained it to her. And I do it in a way where I'm like, I'm not here to attack. I'm here to make sure that everybody is on the same page,
Hmm.
and that like our emotions, our negative emotions specifically, aren't gonna cause any like type of like um oh,
Like
I forgot the
friction.
word. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
of course.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a very essential skill to have, 100%, in any business venture. But yeah, Angelina, I really appreciate your time. You have a great rest of your day. Okay. We're
Thank
gonna
you.
review this
You
with the rest of the
too.
team.
Good luck on the interviews.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Good morning. Awesome.
Nice.
Next person. Let me send an invite real quick. All right, guys, we're almost there. We got 2 more interviews for the day. I'm so excited to eat food and go work out.
You're gonna eat, work out, and then go eat again?
Well, I'm gonna work out and then eat. So that's kind of like, you know. I'm actually really hungry right now, but it's whatever.
What if you guys take a chance on someone in the live, since it shows how interested they are in the project?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What's your story, bro? No, but yeah, I mean, if you have your application in, oh, hey Ella.
Hi, sorry, I just saw that the link was shared, so I said I'd pop on.
No, you're good. That's perfect timing. Yeah. How are you doing today?
I'm so good. It's so odd. I was on the Instagram the whole time, and it's so weird not seeing you because I've been seeing you the whole time.
Oh, really? During the live? How's the interview
Yeah.
structure so far? Is it good?
Oh, I'm loving it. I really like to see how everyone's doing and what everyone's doing, and it's fascinating.
That's awesome. Well, this interview is about you, and we want to learn more about what you're building and what your story is. Can you let us know?
Okay, so my name is Ella, and I'm making an eco travel app, and basically I have a team of 14 members. We have 3 developers at present. We have 2 legal executives. We have a content manager who is a brilliant strategist and is currently managing another creator with 11.8 million following, which
Wow.
is brilliant to have on our team. He's an asset. We have 2 editors, we have 2 cameramen. We haven't fully started making content yet. We've made bits and pieces to promote the brand.
Yeah.
However, like I mentioned, we have a big scope and wide variety of team. I was only told recently by the legal executives that we can't actually make content before we file for patents, and because we want to take the eco travel app international and we have so many new features that we can provide to the market, I can't even discuss online, even on this, what those features exactly are, because it will be seen as intellectual property being released when it could be used against us
Of course,
when we're trying to
no,
patent it.
that's no
So
problem.
I'm very sorry. I can give you an overview of the app, but I can't give you exactly what makes us unique because I have to protect ourselves.
Yeah, of
basically.
course, of course. Yeah, give us an overview.
So basically what the app is about is it's about bringing communities together, such as the Quant community is doing, but in a more localized way. So I noticed from different things and different perspectives that a lot of traveling that's being done now, a lot of the content being made on social media is around sustainability and getting the actual full cultural experience from the travel trip, rather than just having a trip that anyone can multiply, going and seeing this attraction, this attraction, this attraction. People want more authentic experience. They want to connect to the ground root of the culture. So I'm from Ireland, and I felt that there's kind of a rise in Irish culture at the moment in our own community, like with bands like Kingfisher and Amble going on stage, taking the world tour. Kind of presumed that this would be the perfect kind of time to start the app and create it, because we can promote staycationing and just things like that. So what we do is I can't get into the specifics of the features of the app. I can tell you a little bit about how we operate. So what we do is we get small businesses and small to medium-sized businesses, and we partner with them. We get discounts from them so that we can give it to our consumers of the app. We are currently in the promotional stage. Well, not promotional, we're currently making the app, if that makes sense. So we're going to have why am I not thinking of the word, a beta produced by March, I'm being told, and then we are going to send it to a load of accessibility groups to kind of see how it can how we can enhance visual aids, deaf, things like this, to make sure that it's really inclusive and following EU guidelines as well, because that's very, very important.
Of course.
We are really really thinking of kind of progressing and far ahead. We want to start with Ireland. I think I mentioned that, but eventually we do want to take it international. I have international members of the team based in India, Mexico, wherever, the UK. And yeah, basically that's what we do. We connect the smaller businesses up, small to medium-sized enterprises. We promote sustainable and eco-friendly businesses. We're going to create kind of generate itineraries from these businesses. I have events lined up to go to different universities throughout Ireland, to different societies like the Environmental Society, Development and Planning Society in January, February time, although I may have to change that now because of the patenting, but that's okay. We have investors very interested at the moment. We are in talks for meetings scheduled in January because, of course, no one wants to really do anything this side of Christmas.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, that's basically how it's progressing and where we're going with it. And we hope to make more content, more so focused on the development and showing the startup from the internalized side. I mean, what you're doing again with the Can community, I suppose, because we're able to do that without having any issues with patenting and marketing laws and stuff. So that's going to be the next strategy focus.
I love it. Yeah. Well, what's your role in the company within your 14 members?
Okay, so I know it's quite big, but yeah, so I'm the CEO, I'm the visionary, so I'm the one who put everyone together.
Gotcha.
I've always been able to network really well, and thankfully I have a really great community who are very supporting, really trusting. I'm very good at showing people what the vision is and how we can utilize the current markets and what we can do to get the most out of the current markets. So initially when I have calls with some of these team members trying to get them boarded or onboarded, it's like, what the hell is it? And then eventually we discuss it further, and they understand the vision, and then they're very enthusiastic to work. So I'm really lucky to have such a group of motivated, like highly motivated individuals who want to reap the rewards of this, and who also really believe in the vision and the mission of the company as well. They don't just want to see it progress from their own benefits. They want to see it progress because there's such a strong mission behind it, because we ultimately want to connect. We want to give the smaller to medium-sized businesses a stage, because I believe that the world is everyone's oyster and they deserve a stage, and if we can help show that, then that's what we need to do.
I think you're building something really cool, and I think you definitely have the team to execute. With 14 members, that you're basically there. I think the hardest part is recruiting when it comes to building anything, and if you have a solid team around you, I think that's the first step in the door. Moving on with the interview, I have to ask, why did you want to join the 100? Why are you here today?
Well, I wanted to join the 100 because at the very big, I saw it on Instagram and I saw it being promoted, and I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing. This sounds like the community that I want to be in. This sounds like where I want to be. This sounds like where I fit in. And I was just like, I want to see where this goes. I can see, and I was actually following along from, I wouldn't say like the very beginning, but I was following around from around 5,000-6,000 followers on Instagram, and then I could just see it grow. Like I think it's at 13 point something at the moment, and just to see how many people have an interest, you can see it's really going somewhere and it's going to develop. And you can see how many people are going to follow along as well. And I just think that inspires others and creates hope for others. And I hope that other communities stop branching out to kind of create something similar, because everyone deserves the space to be shown and to have their abilities shown, basically.
Yeah, of course, this is only the beginning. We're only the beginning stages of the recruitment phase. And I'm excited we have a lot of projects in mind for the 100 experiment, and we'll reveal that another time. We'll go back to you though. What do you think are skills you can contribute for the 100?
I think that I'm very motivated kind of person, and I think that just being around motivated people is kind of what gets you pumped and motivated. So I feel like my kind of ambition and my motivation just kind of inspires and kind of bounces off other people, and I feel like the other people in that will also do the same. So it's just going to be a complete bouncy ball going around everywhere. I also have sales experience on a more technical note. So my day job is a door-to-door saleswoman, and I do really well with commissions. and I feel like I'm able to show how to connect emotionally to the customer and bringing our product forward on an emotional level, because that's what I'm doing currently. I also I'm also very good at like connecting with people and connecting the dots. Just seeing, like, if I'm talking to someone and they're telling me, okay, this is kind of where I'm at, and I'm just like, okay, I think that you have disability and disability, and I just think that you're not utilizing them correctly. I just think you need to connect them on, and I'm really good at seeing where things need to be connected, and I'm kind of very intuitive. I trust my gut a lot, which is why I've even applied for this, because I knew it would be a good opportunity. I just felt it. And I'm very like an intrapreneur as well as an entrepreneur. I want to help people succeed. I want to be able to point out and show maybe what could be done to help them progress within their own business.
Hey, Ella, I love that story. I know you got busy schedule as well, and I know we have an interview here in the next couple minutes here. Do you have any questions for me as we end it off?
Um, uh, I don't know. You see, I had so many questions going into this, but I've been on the stream since maybe 6, just watching all the different people, and I found them really inspiring. And I suppose they've all asked the questions for me.
There we go. I love that. I think that's the reason why we wanted to stream this, because I know a lot of people had a lot of questions when it comes to how the logistics go with the 100 experiment. Hopefully, I answered as much as I can, and hopefully, it's like there's a better idea of what the 100 experiment's all about. But I appreciate your time, Ella. All right.
Thank you so much, Antonio.
Of course. Bye. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Awesome. Last interview of the day, guys. Let's do it. Perfect. Okay. Our last interview is going to be Max Mason. Yes, sir. What's good, Max? How you doing?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you perfect. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can.
Awesome. Well, where are you based off of right now, bro? Where are you from?
I'm just north of Sydney, about an hour and a half. So
awesome,
central.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
Yes, sir. Strength. It's like 9 a.m. over there, right?
Yes, 9:45 now.
There we go. Well, let's get started. Where are you building? What's your story?
Well, yeah, I'm Max Mason. Let's say by pedigree, I'm a racing driver. I started motorsport around 14 years of age. And that's led me to this crazy story. So, yeah, I started racing at 14 in go-karts. By 15, I was in race cars. And then by 16, I was heading over to Malaysia for the Ferrari Driver Academy for a selection that they were doing there. So I was in the top 20 drivers in all of Asia.
Wow.
Which, look, that basically led me to like, okay, the on-track stuff, I was good enough, right? And like that was like basically everything went positive really, really quickly. So that kind of year and a half, 2 years, everything was positive, and which is great for that 1.5 years or 2 years. But behind the scenes, motorsport's extremely expensive, which I don't think many people are surprised at. But being able to have enough budget to race is just difficult. So that kind of led me to around 16. It was already looking a bit dicey in terms of budget for racing. So I was like, why is motorsport like this? Why is it that a young driver that had all these opportunities afforded because of merit now coming to a problem where merit doesn't matter anymore? It matters about how many zeros you got behind in your bank.
Yeah.
And that was a problem I saw in motorsport, but as well, it's an opportunity in motorsport because something needs to be resolved. So the issue is there isn't enough, let's say, talent-based appreciation in motorsport. There used to be about 15 years ago, which is well before my time, but But what I wanted to create was two things, right? One thing is, for me as an actual racing driver, I want to give other younger drivers the opportunity that I wasn't afforded, which that's why I was creating this thing called Road Course Academy, which is one part of the business is direct motorsport shootouts, which think of Great British Bake Off, all these kind of things, you know, MasterChef, bring that on the track at a bigger scale. It does occur. Some motorsport teams do run it. Some organizations do run it, but they don't run it efficiently and their prizes aren't clear. Where I wanted to make a clear prize, get the best of the best drivers that I can, and give these younger drivers an opportunity that I wasn't given. But then on top of that is also, I want to do something on the business side of motorsport. There, like now with Formula One, you see how it's taking off around the world. With MotoGP, all these huge motorsport organizations that are really getting into the media business. I wanted to do something similar. And with my connections in motorsport, I found, especially with the Middle East now wanting to pursue more Western sports and bring more of the world international community into their countries, I thought that, okay, how can I leverage what I know within motorsport and who I know within motorsport and draw those bridges? So on top of running a completely just motorsport side of the business, which that's what RCA is, I just focus on the on-track and working with drivers. I want to also work as kind of not a middleman, but an organizer of events for especially stuff in Saudi Arabia, where I have some good connections. So that is like the other half of my project, is working within Saudi Arabia and trying to bring especially American brands, as they're focusing on, towards motorsport in Saudi Arabia, because they're putting huge amounts of money into it, but the opportunities are still not arising for drivers there. So that's, again, another market for me to get into. So I've been working on that. It's only been quite recently, let's say the past 4 months. But I've got some MOUs there. They've got some, you know, good people working that want to progress what they have there and turn it into something even bigger. And then in the States, working with organizations like, you know, trying to get stuff done with NASCAR. Obviously everyone knows the Cup Series, but working on some stuff with them as well. But yeah, that's for the basic gist of what RCA is. But that's like it's a at its core, though, it is a media agency. Let's say that is what. Let's say the spine. That's what the real idea is, because it can be a racing. It's not a racing team. It can all those things are easy to be able to create, but to create something that is not directly connected to the on-track side and link drivers and teams together, that's basically what RCA is. So we go out, we find, you know, we're working as well after on the shootout we've currently launched. We're working closely with 2 teams, so Razoon and Gedlich. So one's an organization, one's an actual racing team. So we're kind of partnering these things, these teams and agencies that would never really work separately before, and trying to basically get them to work together for the common good, let's say.
Gotcha. Okay, I love it. Yeah. So basically, you do a lot of like media for like motorsports and stuff like, and that type of community. Yeah, and
it's basically trying to make motorsports more mainstream on the media, while giving drivers that should have the opportunity a chance to be able to show how good they are through a shootout. So it's like you're solving one problem with bringing more media towards it.
Are you doing this by yourself or with a team?
I've got a small team. We've got about 5 or 6 people that are helping me on this. But yeah, I started this at 17 when I was living in Italy. And I worked quite closely with Ferrari for a little bit to kind of figure out if there was something worth for them doing. And like Ferrari, it's a huge organization, and the problem with huge organizations is they move really slowly. And there's about 10 people you go through before you get any sort of answer. And it was a good experience working with Ferrari, but it opened my eyes to show that I don't want to be this huge organization that you need to go talk to 10 people to get something done. I want to be able to, you know, sit on my laptop and I see an email come through from, you know, the organizer, and they need something changed, get that figured out in 30 minutes, and then we're back on track. Like, for me, that was important. And it was also like an eye-opening experience to know that like something as prestigious as Ferrari, it's still an operation that is extremely, let's say, behind all the modern necessities of a business that I find there when it comes to just being flexible, because they were extremely inflexible in their things, which is fair enough. They're Ferrari, right? There's not much.
Of course.
But it was a good experience to know that I didn't want to become that. I wanted to be something different. So that's what I was doing in motorsport, was creating something not not brand new, but changing how people thought about things. It wasn't just, oh, you have to pay for a season outright, rather than, oh, well, what if I join this program? It gives me an opportunity to get a full season covered.
Awesome. And then you guys are already like starting the post, like the media out there, and then you guys are already working with clients. Is that
Yes,
what I heard?
yeah. Right now, this shootout is for GT4s. We're organizing it with a team called Razun from Austria. They run Porsches and BMWs, and this is planned to. The event is planned for the 23rd and 24th of February, and we launched it last week on the 8th of December. So like that was our launch date.
Wow.
And yeah, we're working with those two teams. Our plan is to get 48 drivers in. So far, we've got, I think, about 20 interested. So trying to get those all converted. Obviously, it's a big ticket item. Motorsport's still expensive, but we're trying to give an opportunity for as low as the price we can, while still being able to give this opportunity to drivers. So it's a balancing act still in motorsport. It's still expensive, but
Yes,
it's trying to create something achievable for more people, because in this current market in motorsport, 90% of drivers are kind of cut out before they can reach the third stage of driving,
because it gets too expensive.
Yeah, so you have grassroots motorsport, and then you have entry motorsport. So grassroots is literally, for most people, it's getting a road car, jazzing it up a bit, and taking it to the track. And then entry motorsport is anything under $150,000 a year to race in. But yeah, which that's just entry. So that's drivers that are around 14 to 15. That's entry motorsport, the age of that. So you think there's a 14 or 15, there's 14 to 16-year-olds, let's say, that are asking their parents for 150,000.
That's crazy. My parents ain't giving me that.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to get to that stage, but then I really quickly switched to, okay, I need to get on the business side of this, because fortunately I don't have billionaire parents that can dish all that out. But yeah, like there's a huge amount of drivers that don't get past that next stage just because of a paywall. They could literally be the most talented driver that ever existed, but because of a paywall, they're stuck, which I thought was ridiculous, because that driver is potentially not only an extremely good driver on track, but it could be extremely professional and extremely good driver when it comes to media and promoting brands. But because of this paywall so early on, they get snuffed out. So that was my goal, was to basically make a bridge to get them to that next level. Of course, like in my shootout, only one driver is going to win, but all those drivers would have had the opportunity to have. But while also receiving feedback, like when I was doing when I was within motorsport, feedback is very hard to come by. When you're a driver, everyone is yes man to you because you're paying the bills. So you're not receiving the proper feedback on what you need to improve. Gotcha. It's more, just come drive a bit more, spend a bit more money, and then you'll become better. It's never, well, you are good enough at driving, but you need to work on your professionalism and your media, because when you're being a racing driver, you're an ambassador for anyone that you're operating for, whether it's a brand, whether it's just a team you're even paying for, whether it's my organization like RCA, we expect our drivers to be ambassadors of the brand. And that's how motorsport justifies itself. It's so expensive. You need these big brands to be involved, and they want people to be ambassadors. They want people who are professional. They want people who can really, let's say, talk to a camera and get people to listen. But yeah, it's like, I want to bridge a gap so that people have more opportunity to get to that stage where professionalism is a little bit closer, because even at entry motorsport, professionalism isn't in the conversation. You're still hundreds of thousands and years away from that professionalism. Whereas I'm trying to bring, like, okay, let's get at least one of these drivers to be a confirmed professional driver. If you're being paid to drive, that's what we professional. Even if you're not earning money, which I know goes against the actual term, but yeah, and to also work on creating something on the marketing side to begin a pool sponsorship, which for motorsport is the most effective way. As drivers, it's difficult to get sponsors, but if me as an organization can get some bigger sponsors in and spread it across a couple of drivers, just helping people like someone that was in my situation, if I had this kind of organization, it would have helped me. Like I would probably be closer to what I wanted to achieve. But everything happens for a reason. I do believe in that. Things get guided in certain ways, and I think that's why I was led to start this and be at least a good start towards a change in motorsport that is really needed. But motorsport is it's a big industry. It's a really expensive industry, but it's small, let's say, in terms of the masses. That's why I'm also focusing on this media side, especially on the collaborations in Saudi Arabia, because everyone gets media. People are obviously watching this on some sort of social media. I mean, social media and media is the thing that connects.
Social media is king. Yeah, bro. I absolutely love what you're doing. You found a problem in your niche and you're solving it, and you're solving the best way you could. I have another question for you. I think I got a really good understanding of what your business is and what you're trying to build, and I think it's awesome. Why do you want to join the 100? Like, why are you here today?
Yeah, well, look, motorsport is a niche, and look, I imagine that like there won't be many people in the 100 that, let's say, will be focused on motorsport. And that's why I've got two parts of my business. Is one's the motorsport, let's say my personal passion, but one's the media. And I think media is the unique factor in that it's universal. Whether you're in real estate, whether you're in motorsport, whether you're in a drinks company, whether you're in any industry, media is what wins over your client base, what wins over your fans, whatever it is, right? That's the important part. And I think having a group of people that have one thing in common, which is going to be their media presence, but having multiple things in common, especially the desire to go out and be the best that you can, the desire to go and be the best within your own niche, not only, not this, like a fish in a barrel where you're scrapping at each other to have let's say a pig at the pie. A group of people that in their own niches are all working together as kind of a mesh that can collaborate globally, right? And I think for me, for me personally, say on my own business, that will be important when there are people that, like, let's say like a drinks company, and they get really big and they're looking towards sponsoring someone because it's a good way, one way for tax write-off, but it's a good way to help other people in their business. If I'm running a racing series in Saudi Arabia and they have a contact that I can personally just reach out that I know well, it's just basically an investment for the future. That's what I'm thinking of it as, is being able to also use my expertise and what I know in being able to deal with big organizations and being a small organization in a really big pond, and help people that are in a similar situation. And then in the future, have like-minded big organizations that can work together. This is kind of like, I feel like you're getting in early to an organization and a group of people that are all thinking the same thing, and they're all wanting to help each other. Like, I know in motorsport personally, it's survival of the fittest, right? You all claw at each other. You want what someone else what someone else has. Whereas I think in the 100, there's this kind of energy that I feel that it's everyone that wants to work together to reach a goal together, rather than what everyone else has.
I think you made a really good point in that. One thing I've kind of realized when it comes to like starting any business venture, usually the person with the same ambition and drive as you is usually your competitor, right? It's very difficult to find someone who's like working with you, unless you have to pay them, of course. But I think the unique thing about this community that we're building is that we're all entrepreneurs that are driven, that has like that like-minded ambition to achieve more than what we currently have. And I want to be able to create a collaborative community in that case, where everyone's working together, building each other up, so we can all achieve. And I'm trying to prove kind of like the thing where collaboration will be competition. And that's kind of like the point of the experiment. I think that's the foundation of what this experiment's about. And I love that you got that. What do you think are, well, let me ask you this. I know you're a busy guy because you're starting your business and you're running a team and everything. How many hours do you think you can commit to the experiment a week?
Like the positive thing for me while I'm in Australia is I kind of work from like 7:30 p.m. till like 2 in.m, right? Depending on the day. Like I can, like, the thing is as well for me, like I have a lot of friends that work in construction, we call them tradies here in Australia. They've got a tough job, right? They wake up every morning, 5 in.m, they get home at 5 o'clock at night. They're working all through the day with their hands. It's physical labor. For me, I have a laptop. I communicate with people. That's what my job is, right? And yeah, I'm hands-on with my business, but I also have the ability to have good people in my team that are experienced in marketing. Like I'm young, I'm 19, so I've got
Yeah.
people around me that can do, let's say, the more menial labor, but like they know what they're doing. I have my expertise, they have their expertise. But I can commit a lot of time. Like that's the positive thing, and that's what I wanted to create. Is I don't want to have all, let's say, 20 hours of my day locked away with one opportunity. I want to be able to have this business, but be able to jump on an opportunity when it arises like this. So I think I think in the form that I submitted was like 10, 20 hours. But yeah, if the community to be a part of and people need assistance, like I'm free. Like I'm an Australian hours, so they're a bit backwards from the US, but I'm sure there's people all around the world. But yeah, like that's why I want to be a part of a community where people do reach out, like, hey, I'm doing this, does anybody have any expertise? And like, for instance, I've dealt a lot with getting contracts done, all this kind of stuff, because that's what my job, let's say, part of. But yeah, that's my thing. I can commit time to it. I've got the luxury of, let's say, working from home and being able to be flexible with when I work, because it is my project. And that's what I wanted to create, is so I have flexibility, and so I can take on more than what other people can. But yeah, I said 10, 20 hours, 20 plus hours probably on some weeks. But if there's a community that I can be a part of, and I can support, or they can support me, it's like having friends, right? You support whenever you need. If the call comes in, you answer it. It's not like, oh, I've got a meeting in 2 hours, I can't talk to you for 15 minutes. Whereas it's everything, and that's what my business is. It's flexibility. That's what I kind of want to let's say leave as my core foundation of what, like, throughout me as an entrepreneur, is flexibility, being flexible for whoever needs it.
I love that. I think the lifeblood in any community, friend group or anything, is the activity in it, right? The moment like the group chat dies, people stop responding, people stop being active, that's the moment when the community dies itself. And the most important thing I'm looking for when it comes to like members of the 100 experiment is like, yeah, it's very important for you guys to dedicate time and effort into building your business, and that's where we keep you guys accountable in doing so. We're not going to stop you. I mean, we're going to force you to keep building your business, because that's like our goal, to push you guys. But also it's very important for you guys to also be active members within the community, because this experiment wouldn't work if, we're not collaborating and we're not like, being active and responsive within the community itself. And so have another question for you. We talked about every reason you want to join the 100. I'm curious, like, what would be like the reason why you would leave the 100?
That is a very good question. But look, it would have to be a pretty good one. That would be the main premise of it, because I feel like it's 100 people, and for all 100 people, let's say, to lose interest in a common goal is going to be pretty rare, and something pretty crazy would have to happen. But for me, it would be that, let's say there's infighting. Let's say everything becomes. I want it to be a competition, but I don't want everything to become. I want everything to be competitive, but I don't want everything to become a competition. I don't want people to start comparing how many zeros are on the next deal, or how many people that like all these kind of things. I want it to be positive reinforcement, only when it's warranted. So not just like, oh, I've failed at everything, oh, you're doing okay. But it's like, oh, look, I've managed to get this smaller deal going, but it's something, and everyone in the community is like, yeah, look, you're doing something, right? That's better than doing nothing. Rather than it being like, oh, well, actually, I've done way bigger deals, or I've done this and this and this. Rather than it being a competition between like who gets the biggest deal, I want it to be everyone kind of, it's like, again, like this mesh where everyone's like, if you're doing something, you're upholding at least something that you're doing. Everyone's positive towards that. So where it's like, I want it to be a friendly community where it's like a group of people that in, let's say, 40 years time, when we've all become extremely successful, whenever we need, if we've got another deal popping up, you can have, on your phone, 100 people that you can call and ask about stuff, or see if they know somebody, or if they might be the right person for it. Like, I want it to be something that lasts, let's say, a lifetime. And I think this is the kind of thing that you watch all these ultra high net worth people. What makes them unique? They have a phone full of people that they can call when they need something. Something similar, because I want to be one of those people, and to be able to have 100 people like-minded who all support each other throughout everything that they do, no matter what industry they are in, makes that's just seems to me such an appealing thing. But if that becomes a community where everyone's at each other's throats because there's this energy that, oh, I'm not good enough, so I need to discredit what someone else is doing. For me, I would imagine that would be a reason where I'll be like, look, this isn't what I want to be a part of. I wanted, I want it to be a lifelong thing that everyone's committed to, because they want to become the types of people that they aspire to be.
That's awesome, bro. I think you understand the vision of what I want to build the 100 to kind of perfectly. Yeah, it's like that network